Hey everyone. So very sorry about the late upload. I was busy. I know I said that my next video would be a reply to Aaron Ra, but I'm still working on it. I don't have any of that fancy video technology editing stuff where I can play his video and then respond to it, so I have to make sure I reiterate it properly. And I've been so busy I haven't gotten around to that. Another thing, let me see if I can put this here. Alright. You all see me? Alright, good. Another thing is I had a pretty weird video about, I had a dream about frickin', Christopher Hitchens, if you can believe that. It looked like I was back at the house where I used to live, and it looked like it was Christmas time, and Christopher Hitchens was walking around in a red and green Christmas robe, and he microwaved something. I forget what it was. Either way, it was a pretty weird dream, and kind of took it as a sign from God that maybe I should address him sometime. So that's what we're going to be doing, and this is Sunday Apologetics. Thank you for tuning in. I know Christopher Hitchens was pro-choice, and that's something that I wanted to speak about, because when it comes to abortion, I often tell people it's the shortest debate I've ever had in my history as an apologetic. Because even as an atheist, I wasn't okay with abortion. Somebody said it was the quickest debate I ever had because it went something like this. He said, the guy walked up to me and said, what do you think of the debate on abortion? I said, what debate? He said, well, do you think people should have the right to abort the children? And I said, well, would you have wanted to be aborted? He said no, and I'm like, well, there you go. The end. Debate's over. Have a nice day. But, it's that simple. If it's the golden rule. If it violates the golden rule, usually it's wrong. Then you get some weird atheist that'll sit there and be like, oh, well, I wasn't really conscious around yet, so I wouldn't really get to make a choice. And that is the most BS response to that question I can possibly think of. Just because you weren't conscious or whatever, you ain't conscious when you're in a coma, but I highly doubt you'd be okay with me making the decision to off you there. Well, you were in a coma. Somebody left a comment on a post. I'll include the link in the description to my post. Basically, to paraphrase, the person said, I can't remember the name, I'll tag him in it, but person said, even if the child inside your stomach is considered a human being, which, let's be honest, it is, it's just a human being at a different state, then that wouldn't go against aborting it, because humans don't have the right to leech off of other humans. Therefore, we would have to give it extra privileges and say that it was allowed to leech off of another human. And that is a gross misrepresentation of what has happened. See, I'm not sure who you are, person who I'm going to tag in this post. I think it was Jessica or something. But if somebody was to say, take a makeshift umbilical cord and go full human centipede on you and attach you to me in some way, well then, say I did that. I'm the one who went full human centipede on you and attached it. So now you're stuck to me. And one day I decide, well, I don't want you anymore, so goodbye, and I go to cut the umbilical cord. Now, can I do that? But you said it yourself, humans don't have the right to leech off of others. Now you'd sit there and say, hey, wait a minute, but that's not fair. I never asked to be attached to you. That's not fair that you can just kill me like this. And to that I say, that's probably what every aborted child's last thought was. It's just wrong. You can't force someone into a situation in which you have more power over them and then turn around and say, well, you have the right to kill them because you forced them into that situation. Pretty sure that's a form of entrapment. Then there's well, what about rape? What if people were raped? And I have always said that although I do not agree with it, I would understand or not think as badly of you if you chose to abort a child due to rape or some other form of a couple other things, but mainly rape's the big one, so I'll reply to that. But still, I don't think I could go through with it because that's like the same situation I just presented. Instead of me being the one to attach you to me, someone else attached you to me. If someone walked up to me and attached you to me so that you had to rely on me for support, now I didn't ask for you to be there. I didn't do anything to get you there. You didn't want to be there. But how would you feel now if I was to cut that cord and kill you? You'd probably be begging me for your life at that point in time to not do that. And, you know, atheists, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I think that if you are okay with abortion simply because you slept with someone and now you don't want the child, I think you're a monster. That is a very messed up thing to do, and people told me I was crazy. It takes a real special kind of messed up to be able to do basically what I said, force someone into a situation where you have more power over them, and then just kill them. That's really messed up. What else did I want to say? Yeah, you all know that I'm a big fan of Jack Nicholson, and he is a pro-life, anti-choice thing. He has a quote going around. To paraphrase, it went something like, all I have is the right to my own life, and I don't have the right to deny it to others, or something like that. And he's right. If you're going to use your life to take away the opportunity of life for another, that's messed up. And Jack Nicholson is, as I've said, my favorite Joker. And if the Joker knows it's wrong, that's it. Honestly, it's no wonder that people who have abortions go through severe depression phases, because it is something to feel bad about. You did just deny life to somebody else. And that's very interesting, considering the fact that women sat there for the longest time being denied rights and being told they were less, and they get rights, and what do they do with them? They turn around and they deny rights to somebody else and tell somebody else they're less. Something humanity has done on more than one occasion. When it comes to abortion, there truly is no debate. The golden rule should always reign supreme. Like, subscribe, do all that good YouTube stuff. Be back here next week for Sunday Apologetics.